Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 Return of Cyrus. So last part, the Abbasid revolt finally succeeded, and it resulted in us being placed under the Sultan of Khorasan, which is good because we wanted to be under him. It allows us to more easily maneuver to take over the Sultanate of Khorasan. Technically, he's not actually the Sultan of Khorasan. He does have that title, but that is not his primary title. His primary title is the Sultanate of Al Jazeera, rather. He has a lot of Sultan titles. And I think I've hinted at this before. The Badshah here has really fucked up by not trying to take care of this guy's power. This guy has so much power now that if he declared independence, he would probably, I mean, outside of the levy difference, he would take a lot of the Abbasid's power away from the Badshah. So it is in his best interest to try and curb the power of the Sultan of Khorasan. But he won't. Partly because the AI is not that smart, sadly. We have a trade post in Merv, which is good. Let's go ahead and drop down the Silk Road trade post. Get us more of that sweet, sweet money that we love. Though we love it mostly because it's necessary, not necessarily because we want it. We are trying to improve his relation of us, so I can potentially ask him for a title, although I don't expect him to say yes, if I'm being honest. But we can try. But I want to get to 100 opinion with him, because then he's more likely to say yes. And Sun is a skilled tactician. He is okay, if we're being honest. He's not the greatest. He's not complete shit, though. Okay. We'll do just an any search. Nobody with genius, apparently. Are some people with attractive, though the youngest is 20. Which is a little on the older side for me. Anybody with bright? We do have a 16-year-old with bright, but they're not exactly great stats-wise. We have a bright, strong, homosexual, deceitful, paranoid, lustful, ambitious, cruel woman. Who actually has fairly decent stats. They're not great, but they're not absolute garbage either. Although the homosexual is not exactly helping us, although lustful does cancel it out and a little bit more. You're not terrible. I'm going to go ahead and mark you as a special interest so that I can remember that you are a potential option. Let's see. Is there anybody with quick? There is. And with 14 stewardship, which is what we need more of. And, you know, the 12 martial and 16 intrigue and 11 learning doesn't hurt either. Our character will be completely inept at diplomacy, but that's fine. We'll live. So you are also an option. You are actually at the top of the list right now. I would have preferred somebody with genius, but sadly we got lucky. Nobody had genius. We could get strong, and because I'm using a mod that's supposed to allow better predictability, is I guess the best way to describe it, for how genes get inherited. So strong increases the chance of our children having strong, and it's a little bit more predictable at least. We do have a 19-year-old with 9, 11, 13, 8, 9. So, again, pretty good martial and stewardship, which are most of what we're looking for. And you are at least better at diplomacy. You are also a decent option, let's be real here. So, we have we have a 20, 18, and 19-year-old as options. You're married. Whoops. So you're out of the running. You're still in. You're out of the running. Okay, so basically our choice is just the 18-year-old. So we're going to go with the 18-year-old. That's fine. We'll live. I'll take the money, thank you. That's a lot of money. And that's money that I can dump back into useful things, like my trade post in Merv. Also, kick the game down to 3 speed, because we don't need it at 4 anymore. You don't really like me. I'm not sure why, but you'll get over it. So we're sort of double dipping into the Silk Road. With our trade post in Merv and our trade post in Jerusalem. We could, if we expanded more, triple dip. Although we're having a bit of a problem here because that's bringing it down 25%, that's 10%, that's a 25% there. That's a 25% there. So we're not making nearly as much more as we should be. I mean, we took over a trade post and we're only making about an extra 2 ducats. Or 2 gold, whatever you want to call it. Compared to when we only had the 1. So yeah, we're not making nearly as much extra as we should be, but that'll get corrected over time. There we go. That drops us up to 100. Let's go ahead and ask our liege for a title. I don't expect him to say yes, but if he does, great. I hear that you have. I fear that you failed to convince me of the justice of your request. Yada yada yada. I'm not too surprised. We'll just say disappointing. We won't cancel, or we won't abandon our ambition. No, I don't give a shit of my wife, game. She's 52. Honestly, if I could divorce her, I would, but I can't afford it. But also, our character's old, so it doesn't really matter. Hopefully someone will hear us. Fuck, it's that guy. The guy I want to get rid of, because he has an inheritance warning. You know, now that I can get medium centralization, I don't actually need... I didn't need to get rid of Acre. If I had just waited, I probably could have gotten this. So that gets us up to 6. We'll just wait and we'll try again asking our liege. Now that I actually have a spot, maybe he'll be willing to do it. It's possible the game decided he can't give me a title because I am currently at my cap. Or I was when I asked. That's a possibility. I don't think it's particularly likely. Like I said, it is a possibility. I don't actually know exactly how that all works. I refuse to be commander. You need to understand this. Yes, put our nephew back in charge there. Collect taxes, thank you. You're stressed, that kind of sucks. Oh, also, my son is of age now, so make sure to place him as our designated regent. Because that's just the way I play. I always make my heir my designated regent. I could hold a festival, no thanks, we're fine. How much you willing to pay for this guy? 10. Well, you can have him back anyway. He's still refusing to give me... Where'd they go? Oh, you let them free. Thank you, because I refused to pay. You're on the old side. I probably should have sent you away earlier. Oh, shit. Okay, the Abbasids are at war with the Western Protectorate, so I'm not allowed to send anybody to China. I can't interact with them. Thanks, Badshah. Thanks. Well, I assume you're unlikely to get any really good marriage options right now, but we'll still screw it. I can get a little bit of prestige out of this. I sort of forgot about it, you guys. Sorry about that. You are one-eyed and scarred. I'm going to admit I'm somewhat surprised that there are even marriage options, but apparently there are. You're a prince of Tibet, and I can get a matrilineal marriage there. That sounds wonderful. Because while you are not at the top of the line of succession, you will put my family within the Empire of Tibet, which is good for me, potentially. Because there is the possibility that they could manage to rise to the throne, which could allow me to get a good, long-lasting alliance, potentially, with Tibet. Because you can make alliances with family members. I will admit I'm expecting this war to end poorly for us. How long does that last? Until 945. Okay, 2 years. Wonderful. Matrilineal marriage, 305 prestige. Is he going to come to my court, or is he going to go to yours? He's going to come to my court. Interesting. If I can improve his opinion of me enough, I could potentially persuade him to switch to Zoroastrian. Now, we just wait for some kids. Because if they have kids, and if I kill basically everybody in front of him in the line of succession of the Empire of Tibet, we would get Tibet as being ruled by our family. And they would be Zoroastrian. Because where are you if I were to... Okay, I think you're at like literally the bottom of the totem pole. Holy crap. There are a lot of people ahead of you, and that's a lot of people I'd have to try and kill. And we don't have particularly great chances of succeeding. Mostly because I don't think many people in Tibet are big fans of us. Yeah, we're sort of just going to take over this stuff, I think. Interesting that I don't have a option to declare a border war with you. I can only declare those wars. I'm not quite sure what the deal is there. You I can declare border. So yeah, I really don't know what the deal is there. Yeah, the rest of these people I could not care less about. So he can have them. He can do what he wants with them. Oh, oof, there we go. Up to 19. Let's get a small mercenary garrison. Why do I want to assume this is potentially affected by being at war with China? It's not. But I just kind of thought it was. So this route has cleared up, but this one down here in the south, or well, sort of in the center, I guess, is still a bit of a problem. It's 25% still, with a 25% there. And there's a 10% over here. Is that 10%? Okay, that just disappeared. Actually, no, it just moved. 25% there. Yeah. But hey, one route is cleared up, so that's helpful. So we're up to making 19 gold a month. Mostly, rather, as a result of the trade income. Yeah, there we go. Almost 80 from trade income. 2 trade posts is almost equal to the entirety of my direct territory. And that's including my stewardship and the fact that I'm greedy. So, trade income will definitely surpass our direct territories once things sort of calm down a little. Yeah, I'm not going to get any of these. I could try to get the Emerald Merv, and that one I might succeed with a lot of bribery. If you were willing to join me, holy crap, that would be worth a lot. But you're not, sadly. So, that's not really a choice. How much do I need? 100% with 4 backers. At least. We can definitely get more than 4 backers. I think we would not be able to get 100% though. But we would get close. Actually... No, we might actually be able to get to 100. Again, it just requires a lot of bribery. Which, I mean, while we're making a decent amount of money, we're not exactly sitting on making money hand over fist. So it's not quite at the level in which I'm willing to go ahead and say screw it. So we'll just hold off, trying to improve people's opinions of us. Apparently I'm not a big fan of my liege. Apparently I consider him a tyrant. Really? Oh, there's an option here to overthrow him. And they actually have a decent amount of backing. How much of... Where do I sit on the realm tree for you? Exactly. I am the 6th, so I'm in the top 10. I'm just outside of the top 5. Though part of that might be because... Yeah, my stewardship isn't the greatest, I imagine. Oh, that guy's stewardship is shit. He probably just has better developed territories, would be my guess. I kind of want to get Acre back, though. Because I don't need it anymore. I don't need you there anymore, dude. But I can't do this. Basically because I don't own the Emirate of Jerusalem anymore. This guy took it. And gave it to some random fucking dude, apparently. He doesn't own it anymore. He gave it to this guy. Why? What did this guy do for you? Besides exist, I guess. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for skirmish. I don't know what's actually the best. We'll go with skirmish, though. To my understanding, horse archers are completely under garbage, period, so... Not much point going for them. Fuck. We got a new guy in charge there. Which means I can't ask, because my liege has a regent. Thank you very much, game. Thank you very much. We'll go with build a war chest. Because we are a duke, we need 500. That won't take very long. Just literally don't spend any money. Beyond maybe upgrading Merv's mercenary garrison to get some extra trade value there. But generally, oh god, is it getting worse here? I think you're just getting more, yeah, you're getting more points where it's cut off. God, that sucks. That's annoying. Oh wait, no, yeah, so you got 25 there, a 10 there, a 25 there, 25 there. This goes down here, not up. But still, you got a 25 here, which is hurting this locations. God. Yeah, it's not doing so great, but we're still making quite a bit of money. It's just not as good as it could be. Because that central route is doing very poorly. Also, because we have a retinue, it's going to cost quite a bit to get them up to snuff. Because retinues are expensive when they are getting the troops, which does take a while. But they're cheap to maintain once you have them fully maxed out. That's at least my general understanding. They're expensive at first, but then they become cheaper once they're up, and at least allows you to handle army effectively. Oh yeah, I don't really care about the whole family focus thing anymore. Let's go for war, I think. Yeah, continue improving our relations with this guy, though it doesn't really matter, because as soon as our current ruler dies, it's going to reset. I knew there was a huge bear somewhere near the caves in Guzgan, and a quarter of mine had insisted to come along. I'm not a big fan of you coming along, though you do like me. Enough with your nagging, you can come along. I managed... So the beast was huge, bigger than any bear I'd ever seen. I fought him bravely, but only managed to slay him after he wounded several of my men. But I managed to save Faraz. So, there we go. Sure, we managed to save him. Go surround the Badshah. Reset you. Oh shit, wrong province. Oh well, it's fine. That one needs to be converted as well anyway, so it sort of evens out. Ooh. A band of fierce Vikings has established a warrior brotherhood in Rugen along the Baltic coast. Rugen. There's Riga. That's not Rugen. I don't know where Rugen is. It's somewhere. I don't really care enough. Based in a castle known as Jomsborg, these Jom Vikings are devoted to Thor, Odin, and the other Norse gods. They broke no quarter on the battlefield, and they permit only the strongest and ablest warriors among their number. Though there are those who would dismiss them as simple brigands, the Joms Vikings have vowed to defend all Norse lands being encroached by Christendom or other foreign religions. Let us hope those zealots steer clear of us. They will, because they're way up in the Balkans, and we're nowhere near them. Oof. How long have you been married? What, a couple years now? Fuck it. Make a move. Now I just don't need now I just need to avoid anybody finding out about that happening. Just keep raking in the money. The small mercenary outpost, or excuse me, garrison at the trade post is almost built. But we're still going to hold off on upgrading it, I think, because we're so close to the 500, and I want to make sure we get that. Now you're trying to kill the same dude, apparently. I'm pretty sure you're a different guy, in fact. Wasn't it a woman before that was trying to kill him? For reasons unbeknownst to me. I've got no idea what the deal was there. My mana prospers, wonderful. Did they actually gain the prospering, or were they already prospering? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that's expensive. He's building a great underground city. That's the one I think it is. Yeah, that's the one with the precious metal mines. Grand Forges will give you an armory, which you can use to get... Is it the armory? I think it's the armory. That you can use to get a different blacksmith. That I guess is supposed to be better, potentially. I don't know the exact specifics. I don't recall anymore. But I think that's what we'll build in our capital. Wherever our capital ends up being. Once we have actual independence. No, damn it, dude. I don't give a shit of my wife. You can have her. There we go. We got our war chest. I don't really care for any of these. I guess we can go... I mean, we're never going to acquire a title. Our current liege is 12. He's going to not come to power until he is 16. So we're looking at... What is that? About 949-ish. We still need to improve relations with him a bit more. I mean, I guess we can at least slot it, but I don't expect to ever accomplish that goal with this leader. Or with this character, rather. Does he actually have a claim on all those? He does. Why? Is he a part of the same family? No, he's a completely different family. I don't know why he has all of those, but he does apparently. I don't know why you have some event spawn troops, but you do. Wait, I'm the heir to something. Oh, is it this place again? It is, because somehow the people that are placed in charge of Darzab have always failed to have children. I think Darzab might be cursed, and somehow it's making it so that people can't have children there. I mean, it's not too big of a deal, I'll admit, but still, apparently it's a problem. Because they've constantly failed to have kids. Everybody that I've placed in charge of that castle. That... Okay, it's gotten a bit better, but it's still pretty bad. So because we're Persian, which is in the Iranian culture group, we can get riding grounds, which will make our horse archers better. Again, as far as I know, the horse archers are general crap, so they're not worth getting the retinues for them. But a couple of horse archers in your armies that get raised isn't necessarily terrible. But I think I'm going to go for more pike and heavy infantry. Kind of wish Jerusalem would prosper. Oh, we're going to play a war game. Against my steward, apparently. Okay. Oh, there's my timer. We'll end this once we finish this little event chain. As we assign tasks for the war game, we decide that Bahir will defend with me. Oh, never mind. Oh no, this is the guy we're fighting. While Assad will be leading the invading forces. Let the best warlords win. At the beginning of the war game, the enemy quickly tries to advance up the hills in the area to get a strategic advantage. Okay. Rushed forward with a light skirmish force. This has generally worked out for me. It's normally the second part where I have to select the right option. This one is generally the right choice in my experience. Rush forward with a light skirmish force before their force reach the hill. Assad's troop continue to slowly advance up the hill, pressing on despite the assault of our skirmish. Bahir suggests we should climb the hills faster. I'm thinking ignore him and circle around the slowed down enemy and attack from behind. Offense or defense? That is the question. A spirited charge will break any line. That makes us an aggressive leader. Dead men do not get to fight another day. That would give us defender. And as a solid rock breaks the best steel, my men will be that rock. Gives us unyielding. Admittedly, I don't plan to ever have this character do anything. I generally always have the character I'm playing as just sit back home and lead. They're never on the front lines, even if they're military genius. Because if they're military genius, I need them for their marshal to have extra troops, so I don't want them dead. So unless I really just want that character to die, I don't generally lead them or have them lead an army. But sure, we'll go with unyielding. Good game. Our decision to attack the opponent who holds the defensive high ground proves disastrous as our troops suffer massive losses. We are forced to admit defeat. We lose a little bit of prestige. He gains quite a bit of prestige. I have received news that my lover, Roshanora, our daughter, is our daughter or niece? Our daughter, is with child. Hopefully she'll be able to persuade her husband to be the real father. We can only hope. We shall see, but that'll have to wait until next time. Where the minor incestuous relationship we had there with our daughter is either found out or not. We are kind of hoping it isn't found out, because if her husband thinks he's the father, great, because, again, I kind of need him to think he is, so that we gain our claims. Or, well, so that hopefully, if I manage to ever get around to assassinating enough of the line of succession of Tibet, he'll take the throne, and along with our child there, which would be great for me, because Tibet would be nice to have as an ally, especially in a more permanent relationship. Potentially I'd even be able to take them over, or get taken over by them through peace, but I get to rule from the top, which would be great as well, if I'm being honest. But nonetheless, that is going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time, but until then, a goodbye and farewell. We will be continuing to try and take down the Sultan of... the Sultan of... Is it still Al Jazeera? I assume it is, yes. But so that we can take over the Sultan of Khorasan in particular. Or the Sultanate, rather, of Khorasan in particular. Which will still require us to declare war on this guy to gain independence. So that's still going to have to be a little ways out. But we are slowly working our way up there. We've taken over Merv. We now have 2 trade posts. That's going to give us lots of money once the trade situation gets sorted out in this region. Once that eventually gets sorted out, that'll be lots of money coming in. We're already making 22 now since it's been sort of sorted out. But yeah. It's only there's only one family, apparently. One mercantile family. Interesting. Yeah, apparently there's only a single patrician that exists currently in the world. They should be trying to monopolize the fact that they're the only patricians in the world and take as much stuff as they can as quickly as they can, and particularly in great places that are worthwhile. But that'll be it for this part. Like I said, hopefully we'll eventually get enough plot power to be able to try and fabricate a claim on the Sultanate of Khorasan, because then I can throw up a faction for my character for the Sultanate of Khorasan and potentially get some backers for me, which would be great. But that'll be it, nonetheless, though, for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time, where we will be continuing on with our plans to the Abbasids from the inside. But until next time, goodbye and farewell. But before I actually sign off, quick reminder, the channel is supported via Patreon, so if you enjoy the content of the channel, the easiest and best way to help support it is to go and become a patron. There is a link down in the description to my Patreon if you wish to join it. But until then, a goodbye and farewell.